This popped up in a Facebook discussion concerning the Bible as a historical document, and there's lots of problems with what Jason is saying here, but in particular, I want to draw attention to what he says here at the bottom where he asks, "Barely literate savages writing in Greek? Now that is hilarious." Now, I'm sure we've all seen this many times and in many different forms. The atheists will drag the ancient Hebrews through the dirt in an attempt to discredit the Bible by association. It's always the ancient Hebrews as these illiterate, Bronze Age, goat-herding peasants who stand in marked contrast with the noble, enlightened, scientific ancient Greeks. Jason here doesn't even think the ancient Hebrews should be able to speak the same language as their Greek superiors. Now, of course, we can poke holes in most of these descriptors. Illiterate is just a dumb way to describe the people who wrote the Bible. I'd be more likely to use the word illiterate to describe the atheism kiddies who get their entire knowledge of history and philosophy from meme graphics. Bronze Age? As I've already said, the Bronze Age ended in the Near East 1600 years before Jesus was even born. Even the writers of the very earliest books of the Old Testament barely qualify as Bronze Age. And goat herders? Most of the biblical writers were urban dwellers. Luke the Evangelist was a physician. It's very unlikely that any of them herded goats. But what I really want to focus on is the constant opposition of those lowly, backwards ancient Hebrews with the noble, enlightened, superior ancient Greeks. Gee, what do you make of that? Now let me just say, in case there was any doubt, I think the ancient Greeks were great. They accomplished wonderful things with philosophy and mathematics and science. They're also fans of broiling people alive in brazen bulls. They had kind of relaxed attitudes about pederasty. They thought the sun was a flaming chariot being drawn across the sky. Meanwhile, the God of the Bible, worshipped by those lowly ancient Hebrews, has come to be worshipped by billions across the globe. It's informed the finest thinking of our civilization. It's withstood every political and intellectual challenge leveled at it. It might give these atheists a little pause for thought if they were capable of such a thing.